Alright, welcome back everybody. I'm Jade Monkey. We're back here in Rust, and we are on a staging branch, another special branch. We have quite a few running actually. We've got the vehicle beta, we have the staging branch, but there are some exciting things here on the staging branch currently that's coming in the live branch for June on the PC, and very soon for the Rust console beta for both PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One. So please note, I mean, this is basically for everybody if you're going to be playing Rust, whether these changes come sooner or later. There's been some building block additions, there's been some visual changes, and the additions of the blocks I think are going to add quite a bit to the gameplay overall, and I'm excited for it overall, not only for the live branch, but for the console beta just around the corner. Okay, so I did semi-recently, depending on when you see this, just do a companion app video. I don't want to back up too far and fall into the water as I did last time. We have a companion app out. I'll go ahead and link the video to that now in the upper right hand corner, going over some basics of the companion app and some of the things I'm doing here. I'm actually on my phone right now, and now I'm turning things on and off. Check this out. Indoors. Oh yeah, it's as cool as you think it is. Yeah, so that's what that video is all about. Okay, on to the building blocks and such. Here we go. Okay, so the visual changes, you may have noticed on some of these blocks here, but let me go ahead and illustrate some of these over here. I think I got a burp on the way, but I'm not sure. Yeah, I do. Okay, so you'll notice right off the gate that edge corners will have a visual change. There are soft side and hard side in this game. And let me just do the wooden one here. Hopefully it does it for me. There we go. Pretty fancy, huh? It's kind of like Lincoln Logs, I guess. Alright, let's do the stone piece. So I think it is smart enough, and again, I'm on the staging branch, so things can change, but I believe it is smart enough to know when you have an interior wall, and like if you don't want the interior wall to show that you have a connecting wall, I think it's smart enough to know when it's an edge, or at least in most cases that we've seen. And then let's go ahead and do the metal. Which is kind of fancy, actually, and so's the armored. They all look fancy, who am I kidding? So, it's really cool that, okay, so this is one of the bigger changes. See the interior now? What? It's wacky, right? The floor looks pretty much the same, although the skirting around the side looks a little different, but look at the exterior. The edges kind of flip-flop over each other. This is probably going to be upped a little bit, depending on the graphics quality, and then let's go ahead and do the armored piece here. So yeah, just a visual change, and I guess just look for these corners, because then you'll know if there's a wall intersecting to another wall in some cases. Or like I said, maybe they patch it. Look at the exterior now, it looks pretty bulky. It's wild. Super wild. So yeah, big change, and one of the bigger changes, let me go ahead and just walk in over in the, well, let me just back up so you can see it. Then we'll walk in. I have an interior over here where we're storing one of the helicopters on the staging branch. And you'll just see how it's changed. Like even these little metal storefronts that we use for lots of things, you notice they've got a wooden interior. So I don't know if that means it's a soft side or not, but look at this. This is all metal. Is this wild? I mean, I know it's probably going to show up pretty dark for you guys, but isn't that crazy? And then what the other thing we're going to go into, I'm sure everybody's excited for, are the spiral staircases. Look at these things, right? Beautiful. Isn't that wild? Like, if you played this at all, you'll know what the old ones look like. It's just cool that there's been a change. And we've got the companion app coming in June 5th, I believe, for the live branch for PC. And obviously, whenever this comes out for beta for us on PlayStation 4 and Xbox, we should see all of these changes as it stands now, or at least with current information that we do have. But isn't that nutty? Okay, so let's go over the different types of spiral staircases. I'm sure you just saw those back there. It's super beautiful. There's two types. There are triangle and full square. So we'll just go ahead and show you an example of these right away. I might have that too high. Here we go. We'll do it like this. And then I can hit R, or the rotate key, whatever that may be, depending on what platform you're on. Notice that it builds it like this. It's basically the size of a half wall. You can go up one more time, and then you'll see that that little balcony will adjust itself. And then you've got better clearance under there. That's important to remember. So if you're trying to stick a doorway somewhere, that can help you. So if you are basically making a doorway, make your stack and then see if you have clearance. It's got room for lots of things. You can crouch under here. You can place boxes under here. It's quite useful. You can even do stuff like this. Let me see if I can get it to... Is it not... Is it there? Oh, wait. Had it for a second. Maybe not. There we go. Let's rotate this. Pretty cool, right? And you can just keep going. So what's even more surprising is that you can keep going. See how it's kind of changing the structure? It's best, by the way, when you're placing this to kind of get under and look for the blue and then place it, because I find a lot of the times when you're up hugging the top, it won't place. And that may or may not change depending, but how cool is that, right? Like, just think, just for building in general or even sieging over a wall, this right here is so much better, right? This is, oh, it's awesome. And then look at these different types of steps. We're on a special server, so that sun should reset again, or it should come back up and set. So look how beautiful these look as wooden, right? Just fantastic. Let's do, what's the next one? We probably should start with wood. The wood looks cool. Make this stone, I guess. Oops, let me take off the hammer so you can see it better. Isn't that crazy? And then, what's the next one? Metal, which I think you saw over there. And then, these look cool. I really like these a lot. Look at these! The armored ones are concrete and metal. What? Look at this little lip on the top. It creates this little automatic. Yeah. Isn't that crazy? Okay, so check this out. Now that we have the basic idea of this, which is pretty self-explanatory. And yes, you can stick walls all the way up the side. Now we have triangular staircases, which it blows my mind. You can do them in just 2 squares. Hopefully I do this correctly. I don't have a TC here, so hopefully I don't mess this up. We'll do this with windows on the side here, so you can just get a better idea of how these would fit in there. Now, what's weird about these is when you place these, by the way, they're right here in this position. When you place these, you can't use R. You kind of have to look at the base and then look left or right, kind of like you do with doorways to have them open or open outward or inward, if that makes sense. I think long-time Rust players will know what I'm talking about. So you can't control that with the rotate button. And as you can see here, it automatically obstructs this, but if you keep going on the stack, and again, these are triangular, look at these. Now I find that the movement's a bit more restricted in these, like you can't move as freely as you can on these square pieces, but that may change a little bit, or it could just be because I don't know the path well enough yet. But you can jam these into a 2x1 triangle, right? Or basically just 2 triangles. That might sound easier for me to describe it in those terms. And let me just go ahead and put a window here, rotate it so you can see what that looks like. I mean, what? That's crazy. We'll just make that stone. And I have a better example over on the other side after we kind of build these out here. Let's just do these as wood so we can see what these look like. But man, isn't that crazy? Like already the ideas are flowing as far as like what you can do. What's really cool is these little pieces come out here to kind of fill the gap on the triangles. But like this is a full-fledged stair. Whoops, as I fall out. Full-fledged staircase that goes up in a very tight space. Incredible, absolutely incredible. And the long-awaited. Or actually, hang on. Before we do this, let me go over here and show what this example looks like on the interior. But isn't it? Oh man, it's just so freaking beautiful. Okay, I did some of these over here on the test base, and you can see it right there. It's basically just 2 triangles. You've got those fancy new edges now. Let me see if I can get a decent view. But here's a staircase going all the way up with a garage door. What? Crazy, right? And you'll see what I mean by movement as we go up. I put these windows here, but look at these nice little gap pieces here. Hopefully I'm going slow enough. Nice, right? Keep going, keep going. Yeah, it's a little tight on the movement just because I'm not used to it, but I think once I get the pattern down, I think I'll be okay. How cool is this? Ta-da! And I believe we can pop these windows out pretty freely as it stands. Let me see if I can get down here. Does it let me do it? Yep. As you know, before we had trouble doing that with staircases in there because of the way they intersected the windows, but these appear to be pretty free. So think about it. Rooftop designs, shoot downs, elevation changes. The stairs can really change the game, not only on your interior, but maybe for some shoot downs or some shooting space on the top. Or shooting floors. I air quoted that. Not that you can see it. Here's what I was talking about, by the way, with the creases. And this may or may not change, but you can see how there's a crease here and I have a door. So like, let's say this was an interior, you would be able to tell there's a door connected. This may or may not be a glitch. This may be because I have a foundation here. I'm not sure. As a matter of fact, yeah, because that technically shouldn't. Yeah, well, we'll see. That'll be something to look out for during the live branch and as this staging branch continues. Onward. Okay, so let's go into the long-awaited triangle hatch and triangle hatch frame and triangle, what, oh wait, what's it called? Floor triangle grill. It's a mouthful. Okay, bear with me as I switch these over, and you may be saying, hey, Jade, that looks like a regular floor grill. The icon has not been updated yet. I promise you these are triangular. And triangle ladder hatch. Beautiful. Okay, let's go over here and just let's try it out. Try it out. Oh, did I leave my... I did. Bear with me. And in the future, the Boyfriend Squad, myself, Jade Monkey, RazorTube, and BioLazer, we will be doing more builds on these. We're having a lot of fun just experimenting with these as they stand now. It's great, so stay tuned for that. An excellent reason to subscribe and turn on notifications if that's something you think you're interested in. Okay, let's continue here. We'll just make these stone. Again, hopefully this is slow enough that it makes sense. I have a tendency to go pretty fast when I'm on the computer, but... Okay, so you can see right here, floor, as I stumble on a floor triangle frame. I was trying to read the bottom and see what it costs for wood. It's 13. Yes. Yes. Awesome. Make that stone. We will do this side as a floor grill. Couldn't think of the name. Floor grill. Right? Yeah. Awesome. And then we'll do this one as another ladder hatch. You can see maybe how this works, and this is something we discovered just messing around. We'll go to this one last. Hopefully that sun is still okay. And oops, there we go. Okay, so even though it looks like a regular ladder hatch, and I'm sure they'll update the icon, they just have not yet. You can place it here, and again, this works like the doors, where you kind of have to just situate your position of your reticle, and it'll change the orientation of said ladder. But look at that! Look at that! Yes, are the wheels turning? They should be, because that's crazy. That's really snug, isn't it? And you can stick a lock on there. This is one thing we had trouble with coming out here. You really get dumped off on the edge, so you gotta be careful. I just did it. I was not trying to. So keep that in mind. I don't know if that'll have adjustments or what, but just know that you can dump right off the top. So if that's leading off your edge and you're at a very tall building, that could be a problem. Isn't that crazy? So check this out. This is something we discovered while we were just messing around and building. Look how neat this is here. Can I actually do that? I was gonna say, can we stack? Okay, so you're probably saying, oh, big whoop, right? You can't pass through that. Right? So if you're trying to get up, it's a single pass ladder hatch. Yeah, that's right. Already, it's awesome. So you can do some crazy stuff with this. Make some access that goes up to a really tall tower. You can do jump ups. You can do different ways to just move people through your base for defense in general. It changes building a lot. Even though these do seem simple, these are massive changes. Okay, let me go over one more thing over here. I just drew a blank as far as what it was. You know what? Let's just do the ramps while I'm thinking of it. Okay, so check this out. So since the vehicles are coming in July to the main branch and soon to the beta for PlayStation 4 and Xbox, this is also worth noting. The regular stairs that we had back in the day would damage the vehicles. So you're like, man, how do you get a car in there? Well, before we had to intersect with the ground or do very subtle bump ups, right? Like that would even damage your car. But now we have something very specific to vehicles, ground vehicles. That's right, the vehicle ramp is a thing. And it now goes, yeah, look at that, it's perfect, right? But you're probably saying, hey Jade, that's cool, but what about the old school staircase, right? Like, what's up with that? You know, is that still a thing? Tell me about it. Well, check it out, that's changed too. What? Is that crazy? I know. So I believe those will still damage vehicles, but look at that. That's changed entirely from what it used to be. It used to be its own foundation that was slanted and had stairs, but now it's its own separate piece. Now I do know that you can make your own, you can make these on the interior, even going up to different levels. Let me show you, even if they're not foundations. I believe it goes a half wall up, the regular stairs. I know we kind of jumped topics there, but you can already see. So you can make these interior stairs that are right down the gut. Pretty cool. Yeah, big change, big change. Anybody who's been doing base building or thinking about it, this definitely changes things up. And the ramps are as such. I don't think I've made these stone yet. Oh, that looks cool. We've only done them in thatch, or twig. Thatch. What is this, Ark? Okay, so check this out. So for the ramps themselves, they go one full foundation up. Or I should say you go two over and then one up, if that makes sense. So your ramp would be one off the lip, one right here, and another one that goes up and bridges the gap. So over two, up one. Rise over run? No? Pretty sweet, right? So yeah, you can start to store cars in a vertical fashion if you so desire, if you want to get crazy. Let's try this real quick. I don't want to make this terribly long, as we will be doing specific builds and stuff on these, but I just thought this was very interesting. And I think we can do, let's see, you'll see what I'm trying to do here. This is just like an example. These snap weird for now. There we go. And then one right here, please. There we go. See how we made like an L? Isn't that crazy? You know what? Let's make this metal because I haven't done it yet. Oops. I just don't know what they look like. Oh, that's cool. But I suspect if you have multiple levels to store vehicles, I suspect you'll be doing them in twig and then breaking them down, because that makes the most sense. But I mean, who knows? There's lots of different ways to do this. So yeah, let your imagination go freaking wild, because this is... Let's see what this looks like. Oh, that's cool. Let me make this armored as well. You know, just because I haven't seen it. Oh, that's like all the way filled in, right? Oh, no, it's not. It's got a gap down the middle. Interesting. So yeah, if you're looking to like store cars in a vertical, like second story, like I said, you could do something like this and then just knock the tear down. If you want to, you can always refer to the vehicle stuff that we've done over the beta itself. The vehicle beta, let me be specific, not to be confused with the console beta that's coming. Or hopefully we're all wrong and it's like out now, and you know, if that's the case, then you know, check us out. We'll be live streaming it because it's the best. Oh man, we're gonna be playing that so hard. So yeah, that's in a nutshell. In summation, this is the additions to the building that it will pertain to us on PC here in June. June 5th, I believe, is the first Thursday. And very, very soon for all of us on console, PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, and the future generations, but more specifically for the generations that are currently out. So get ready, let your imagination keep going, because this is endless. If you have any questions, ideas, thoughts, comments, be sure to throw them down below in the comment section, and we'll be sure to read over them. And if you're really interested, we'll be streaming this a lot. Stop by the live streams, give us a hey, what's up? And again, we can also experiment on anything you're curious about or try to answer it to the best of our abilities. So, all right, we'll see you in the next video / live stream. Love ya. See ya. Bye. Let's do this one more time. Do it.